Hey, this is part 2 of the Startup Business Podcast. This one's idea.
Welcome to the AMSDynamics.com podcast. AMSDynamics.com. Let us be your dynamic business solution.
Hey, this is Ash.
And this is Tiny.
We are with AMS LLC, AMSDynamics.com.
Let us be your creative business solution.
That's right. And this is part 2 of our 5-part series in reference to
business startups.
Boom. And this one's called
Idea.
We touched on it briefly on the last podcast if you listen, but now we're going to go more in depth.
So there are a few different things, a few different cornerstones that we feel like people need to have in line before they take that first step so that they can feel like they have a good grasp on it and they're in control of their startup when they begin.
Right.
The first part of it is to have that idea. Now, we know you've got an idea. Ash, I know you've got an idea.
Oh, yeah.
You've had plenty of ideas.
Oh, yeah.
Good ideas.
I'm an idea man, baby.
Everyone needs an idea man in their corner.
That's right.
But every single person out there, everyone listening, everyone not listening, they have an idea, they have a concept, they have something that they are passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? A lot of the time they never even tell anybody about. And you don't want that idea to go to its grave inside of you because you don't feel like you've got what it takes. The ideas are important. Everything from the big ideas to the small ideas have a role to play. There's a fantastic gentleman who comes to our office once a week and he washes everyone's cars. He has a mobile car wash and he does a phenomenal job.
Yes, he does.
Absolutely
Hot,
phenomenal.
cold, don't matter.
You can't go to a Golden Touch or a Tidal Wave or whatever and get the type of detail that this gentleman does.
Yeah.
And it came from an idea. One day, he said, I love detailing cars. I'm going to do that now. And he said, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to give people the best customer experience that they can have getting their car detailed. And you know what? I'm going to go to them. I'm going to get a van. I'm going to put the equipment in it. I'm going to go to them. And I'm going to take care of their cars while they're in their office. They don't have to go anywhere. They don't have to do anything. When they come out, that car is going to be beautiful. And he has attention to detail, a good customer experience, and it all came from the fact that he had an idea he was passionate about, and he went after it.
Yep. So I guess everything starts off with a light bulb experience above your head, the idea.
Literally everything.
So, what is that one saying? Something about the mother of invention? What is that saying?
Necessity is the mother of invention.
Boom. So a lot of times ideas come from necessity, or you think you can do something better, or you're like, I thought of something totally brand new, and it's a frontier that needs addressing.
Often, many of us in our daily life will be just living life, and you'll have an experience where you say, somebody should make a product to fix that problem.
Yeah.
Or somebody should have a service to do it. How many times, we are 80s kids, and so riding in the back seat of the car, the parents in the front seat would say, somebody should start a business to do this. Somebody should start a business to take care of that. There are issues, problems, things that could simply be done better or more efficiently. And when you see those opportunities, they become ideas in your head.
Right.
Now, the ones that take root, take hold, get on the inside, and they really become a passion of yours, those are the ones that you should grab onto and maybe take a run at. The idea that you have that can bring value to the community, that can make life easier for people, make life more entertaining for people. Anything that you have, whether it's something as simple as I have a song I really want to write this song. I really want to get this song out there. If you never have another song idea again, in today's day and age, you can get that song made, get it out there, make it available to people.
That's a very good point, because right now is the golden age of ideas. If you could think of something, you can go to the vast library of internet, YouTube, and learn how to do it, or learn how to fabricate it, learn how to organize it, learn how to sketch it out, 3D printers. If you have an idea for a physical thing, it is easier now to make that happen.
It's astounding how easy it is.
I got an idea for a book. How easy is it to put a book on Amazon now?
Amazon KDP. Kindle Direct Publishing.
I got a song. How easy is it to make a song on your computer and then post it for people to listen to?
You can make a song on your computer. You can go on Fiverr and find musicians You can even all you have is the lyrics and the melody. You sing it. You can send it out there for a musician on Fiverr or what is the other one? Upwork. There's a few different ones, and they'll put the music to it, send it back to you, and now you've got your song. It's amazing how easy it is between Amazon KDP, merch by Amazon, a YouTube channel, websites. You can get Wix, GoDaddy. You can make websites.
SoundCloud or what is it?
SoundCloud. You can have any of these services that you can put together and end up for free having a legitimate internationally operating business.
Well, it's like with us. For example, for our company here, we wanted to have merch, right?
Yes.
So I work in Photoshop as part of my gig here, and I was like, you said, let's go to Amazon merch. It's free. I can have T-shirts and hoodies, all kinds of stuff made for my product, my idea, my dream.
And it is the perfect business model because you do not have to have, and this is not an advertisement for merch by Amazon. This is how we decided to go about it because it's a perfect business model. You don't have to keep blank sweatshirts on a shelf and then have screen printing equipment and dryers out there and then make a bunch of them and then put it for sale and hope that they sell.
Yep.
It's print on demand. It doesn't get printed until somebody orders it, and then Amazon just sends you the profit.
Only thing you're responsible for is the design.
Just the design. You are the idea man or woman. Just like you say, if you've got the idea, you can get it out there and make it real. This is something that I try to impress upon my son because he's an idea guy. He's full of ideas, and every idea he has, we get online and figure out a way to turn it into a reality.
That's another thing. Yeah, like if you have an idea, it's easy to go online and say, somebody's already had that idea. Or I want to call it this. Somebody's already called it that. All you got to do is switch it around, but it's easy to do research nowadays, too.
It's extremely easy to do research. There was a time at which you had to eat food to fuel your body for a journey to an outside location. You had to put on clothing, possibly a jacket, shield yourself from the snow.
Burn dinosaur bones.
Get to the library, and you had to do research to determine whether or not your idea was valid, had merit, or had been done before.
Well, only in that pocket library you're in. Who knows what's in Washington?
Yeah.
Who knows what's in Seattle?
But right now, in this day and age, this time, the way that we're working with the internet and how we have access to information, access to free services, access to be able to get out there. I wrote a book and I put it out there, and something about the content of the book that I put out there, it really lent itself to the UK audience. I wrote a book that is selling in the UK.
Weird.
Hand over fist, more so than selling in the United States. That's not a thing. Can you imagine if this was 1995 and I wrote a manuscript and I had to shop it around to publishers here and publishers there, in hopes that maybe they would gamble on it and would they release it internationally to the UK to determine whether or not the audience would be good? I mean, that was a very difficult time to be working. Now, honestly, great respect for the people who succeeded in small business, in literature, in music at that time. But right now, all you need is the idea.
That's all you need.
If you have the idea, there are people with the technical knowledge, the know-how, the ability and the resources to help you get to where you want to be. A big part of what we do at AMS LLC as a business consultation firm is that we assist people in doing that. When somebody has an idea, they can come through the door to our firm and we can help them step by step all the way from taking that idea into a reality, from startup to success story. Whether it's logo design, which is a phenomenal thing that people have to think about. Websites, all that other stuff. The main thing that I want people to take away from our podcast today is that if you have an idea that you're passionate about, that you feel like can bring value to the community, that you feel like can truly be useful to people or entertaining to people, and you've got it. Whoever's listening, that there's a thing that you've been thinking about, a product that you really have been wanting to make, a service that you've been wanting to provide, something specialized knowledge that you have that you want to get out there and educate people on. To make a digital course today and put it out there for sale, it's so easy. I'll say it's simple. It's simple because
it's not easy.
It's not easy, but it's simple. The reason I say it's not easy is because you have to take the initiative. You have to overcome the fear. You have to develop the idea, and you've got to take that first step, take that plunge in there, and really put that product together. Nobody's going to do it for you.
Yeah. And here's another thing to be wary of. So I have an idea. Okay, or one of our listeners has an idea. I want to do a YouTube makeup tutorial. But then you're like, well, everybody else does it. Well, you can do it better.
You can do it better. You can do it differently.
Yeah, don't let people tell you, well, that's already out there. That's saturated. You can do it differently.
You hear that a lot. You can do it better. You can do it differently. You can do it more useful. You can do it more entertaining. Remember that.
Even with this
dichotomy.
Podcast.
Yes.
Thousands, millions of podcasts out there now.
But we are different. No one's doing
different.
exactly what we're doing.
Exactly.
Taking your makeup tutorial example, people have makeup tutorials, but there are people who are very, very, very chemically minded when it comes to the products that they put on their bodies, in their bodies. So what if you had the one and only makeup tutorial podcast that really broke down the chemical composition of each of these makeups? What if they were specific to organic makeups or things like that?
I'm sure that's out there, but yeah.
What about the other way? You go the other direction, more entertaining. Your makeup podcast, you're spitting jokes out, you're telling stories, you're doing the makeup, and you're showing people how.
There is one, actually, my wife listens to. She puts on makeup and tells real crime stories while putting makeup on.
See what I mean? There you go.
She's doing a makeup tutorial and talking about real crime, and that's so unique.
It's incredibly unique. It's entertaining, but you're still getting some useful content out of it. I think you and I have talked about Bob Ross before. I mean, he does not sit there and go into the geometry and the different artistic types of values of light versus dark and the specific vocabulary. He's entertaining, in a different way, very relaxing, very calm, soothing entertainment value. You're still getting that lesson in painting, but what you get from Bob Ross from watching The Joy of Painting is you understand the joy of painting. That's why it's really good that he called it that. It's about the entertainment value. This podcast is brought to you by AMS LLC out of Greensboro, North Carolina. AMS LLC is a full-service business consultation firm that provides tax services, accounting, and bookkeeping and payroll. And then there's the division that Ash and I work in, AMS Dynamics. We provide creative solutions, including logo design, videography, photography, website, social media, anything that you need for your creative solutions for your business.
That's right. On our website, if you go to AMSDynamics.com, you want to book an appointment for any of those things or a consultation, check it out. Book now. Up top corner, set up a schedule with us, come on to the office, or we can do it via Zoom or by phone call or however is more convenient for you.
And the website has a comprehensive list of all the services that we provide, along with the description of each one, and you can contact us and find out more information about it. Check out AMSDynamics.com.
So let's talk about, we talked about Amazon, stuff like that, but something just during the commercial break, I thought of this. Etsy's full of people with ideas, creative ideas, unique ideas.
Absolutely. And so Etsy, another good example of an outlet for people who have ideas and want to get that artistic value into the community. Etsy, Shopify. And I'm sure there's lots of other platforms that we're unaware of. If you do a little bit of research.
Even eBay to an extent.
You'll find outlets for what you want to do.
Right.
For what your idea is, there are outlets that are tailored for what you want to do, and then there are other outlets that allow you to put that out there. It may not be tailored for specifically what you want to do, but it's still another outlet, another access point that the public can get to your product, get to your service, get to your creation.
What a great time to be alive with ideas.
Absolutely. And since we all have ideas, it's just a great time to be alive for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Now, when you have an idea, you talked about it earlier just in this podcast where everything began with a light bulb. Ding, boom, light bulb. Yep. Now, thoughts inside of your mind, they're amorphous, they're nebulous, they're just out there, just bubbles floating around in your brain until you, inside your mind, put words to them. Now, inside your mind, the words give them scope, the words give them boundaries. Now it's your job to get them out of your mind and into a concrete form here in the real world.
Right. So you can share and so you can reference back to.
Now, a lot of times people have an idea, they never act on it because they're afraid. They have dread. They don't think they're good enough.
Oh, man, have you ever had an idea in the morning and wake up? So you're half asleep in the morning, you're like, oh, my God, what a great idea.
And then after breakfast, you're like, what was
that idea
about?
I was going to cure cancer.
What was that? We could have been trillionaires by now.
So bring it out of your heart.
You have to bring it out. And so the reason is twofold. You just hit on one of them so you don't forget.
Yeah.
I mean, every musician who's ever been at home kind of strumming the guitar and thinking of ideas, but you didn't have a tape recorder nearby. Yeah. I'm dating myself now. A tape recorder nearby. to get, so you lose the greatest ideas you think of, the next eruption, you lose it because you didn't have a tape recorder nearby. So you want to get the idea out and down so that you don't forget it. But at the same time, when you don't get the idea down onto paper or on a dry erase board or on Microsoft Word or in an Excel spreadsheet, when you don't get it out and written down, it doesn't have boundaries, it doesn't have borders, and so it feels too big. It feels shapeless, formless. You can't get your arms around it, and so you yourself, it's your idea, it's your baby, but you're afraid of it. If you get that idea out, written down, you like to sketch. You like to sketch out your ideas. I like to flowchart my ideas. I have boxes and arrows that I put flowcharts out there to show. In my mind, I visualize how this will affect this and why this will then affect that and how we're going to flow through this work to get to the end result. When you get that out there and you give it those defined borders, it has definition, it has scope. You can recognize that this is what I have to work on. This is what I'm working with. This is the steps that I need to take to get my idea and make it into a reality.
Right.
Once it's concrete, once it has physical dimensions, now you can begin to break it down into manageable pieces, and you don't have to be afraid of it anymore.
Right.
So many people let their ideas die inside of them because they simply don't feel like they've got what it takes to get the idea done.
I know you talked about writing it down. A lot of your ideas, like you think writing it down. Now, back in the early YouTube days, with like when you start a YouTube channel, I had a joke or an idea. I would, everybody has a supercomputer in their pocket right now.
Oh yeah,
you can video yourself. Hey, that is idea of blah 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 blah. Or you can hit the audio recorder.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's different ways to get your idea permanently somewhere before it disappears into the ether.
Yeah, and so me, I'm always talking about writing it down, drawing it out, flowcharting it, because that's who I am and that's how I work.
I'll take a picture of something or I'll video it or audio. That's how I'm just a little different.
Yeah, and now that you're saying it, I'm warming up to the idea, because if you physically see an opportunity, a product for this, you could snap a picture of it and immediately use markup function in your iPhone and write down, somebody should do this. This is how this should work. It's phenomenal.
That's how the kids are doing it nowadays.
Is that what the kids are doing these days?
Shit, don't. Come on, man. Come on, man. It's all Gucci. Is that how they say nowadays?
I'm just trying to be hip. What can I say?
Hey, speaking of which, like when I was 20-something years old, right? This is the 90s. This is the 80s. And we had ideas to change the world. How hard was it then? Compared to these kids nowadays. I say kids, young adults nowadays. They have an idea, they make it happen.
But you've got a worldwide outlet for it. You fire up a video, you can put it out on YouTube, Twitter,
there was
Facebook.
No way. I had to go buy a $1,000 camcorder and I'll put it on VHS tape and then pass it to some network to be on America's Funniest Home Videos.
Yeah.
I didn't have a YouTube channel to express my ideas.
I remember I wanted to, me and my brother and I wanted to go and have a television show on the local public access station.
Oh, yeah.
And so we were scheduled to, we didn't do it, but my mother helped us out, and we were scheduled to go down to the public access station and spend a day being trained on the equipment, these big cameras and these lighting rigs and everything, in order to be able to have a video cassette that they then would screen and determine whether or not to play on public access. Compare that to live streaming on Twitch from your phone right now.
The information flow. You got bad ideas out there. You do have bad ideas out there. Not all ideas will be great, but the fact that they're out there and you have great ideas. I don't think there's any bad idea. There's ones that are entertaining and useful, and some aren't.
But that now we're hitting on a whole other topic that's important for somebody who has an idea, because a lot of times people will say, I've got an idea for this, and it is okay. Well, do you have a $1 million budget to market that?
Yeah,
that has been told to me before, where I say, I've got an idea for this company to sell these products. Okay, well, do you have $1 million budget to market that, because that's what you're going to need? Well, that was pre-YouTube.
Yeah.
Now, you're talking about companies that launch a product and then they market it on YouTube, utilizing a complete, not, this is my product, come buy my product. it's a lifestyle video, or it's a day in the life video, or it's an entertaining video, or it's a fail video, or a challenge video with the product worked in, and you, the producer of the product, are marketing your product as you build a following on YouTube, and then YouTube pays you for marketing your own product.
It's amazing.
I mean, it is absolutely astounding how many companies are doing that in so many different ways, and it's working out for them so that not only are they making money and making an impact with their product or service, they're also making money and making an impact with their own marketing by using their YouTube channel or their social media to get their message out there about their service, message about their product, and then that following begins to build and meld together, and now they have this whole unified, bonded legion of followers and consumers, all because they had an idea and the courage to go after it.
This is the golden age of idea.
I'm telling you.
Well, this is Ash.
And this is Tiny.
AMS LLC, AMSDynamics.com.
Let us be your dynamic creative solution.
Check us out. Email us at info@AMSDynamics.com if any questions. And stay tuned for the next part of this series of the podcast. It'll be problem solving. I can't even talk. Problem solving.
Problem solving. Overcoming those obstacles is all entrepreneurs have to.
That's right. You got your idea? You got to overcome them.